Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Today, inshallah, I'm going to be talking about the very important concept of al-Hayaa, which loosely translated, it means modesty, shame, embarrassment, and all of these words basically encompass the concept of Hayaa in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ, he used to encourage people to have Hayaa, and he once passed by a person who was admonishing his brother for being shy and not being very open to talking with people. So the Prophet ﷺ, he told the person that was admonishing his brother, "Da'ahu fa innal haya min al-iman." Leave him alone, because Haya is part of Iman. So there are different levels of Haya, different aspects of Haya, and what I'd like to talk about is Haya with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being embarrassed with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a person, if he thinks for a minute that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him so many blessings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's given us hands, He's given us a mouth, He's given us eyes, He's given us feet, and we take those same blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us and we use them for His disobedience. Now take that from a worldly perspective, and we think, for example, a person who buys his son shoes, expensive shoes, $100 shoes, $150 shoes, and that same son, he puts the shoes on and starts kicking his father with them. So can we imagine that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's given us so many blessings, and we use those same blessings to disobey Him. We use our eyes in a wrong way, we use our mouth in a wrong way, we use our feet to walk towards committing sin, and so on and so forth. So a person, if he thinks along those lines, he will have some shame about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will have a shame about disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one can imagine that on the Day of Judgment, he has to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and not only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but in front of the whole of humanity. So if a person feels embarrassed to commit sins in front of other human beings, but he doesn't feel embarrassed to commit sins in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he should just keep in mind that those same sins can be exposed to all of humanity, billions and billions of people. From the beginning of time until the end of time, they will be able to see the sins that we committed. So that is enough for a person to have some type of haya and some modesty, that how can I stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how can I stand in front of so many billions of people and they will be seeing my sins open in front of them. So this is something that a person can he can prevent himself from committing sins by thinking along these lines. There's a very famous story about a scholar who used to love a particular student of his, and the other students were jealous of that particular student, and the teacher was aware of this, and one day he wanted to explain to those other students why he loved that particular student very much. So he brought a few chickens, a few hens, and he told each one of them that go take this chicken and slaughter it in a place where nobody can see you. Okay, so each one of them went away, and after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, each one brought back a slaughtered chicken. But this particular student, he came back, and of course he had the chicken in his hand, still alive, and all of the other students, out of jealousy and spite for him, they started to make fun of him. And the teacher asked, "What happened, O Fulan? Why didn't you slaughter this chicken that I gave you?" He said, "I didn't find a place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was not watching me." So this is the kind of attitude that we're supposed to have, that wherever we are, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching us. And just the same way that we are ashamed to commit sins in front of other human beings, we should have that same type of modesty and shame about committing sins and disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while we are alone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and you the tawfiq to understand what has been said and heard.